right?
No, he's just got himself muted. I'll handle how the court
Okay.
works, ma'am.
All right.
Condominium Association, Ms. Behrens, what is it you do?
I'm the president. I'm looking at his statement.
Yeah, it would have been a really good idea to send the statement in as your proof.
All right.
You didn't send in the evidence. I just need you to tell me, what is it that he owes for? No, ma'am, because 5% interest to get to $255 on 1,000, that is not 5% interest.
We've never had to do it this way, but I would do it.
Ma'am, you've only ever sued one person one other time in front of me, and that was for dues. So don't tell me.
Right out of the gate, the tension hits. The HOA president is flustered, trying to control the courtroom while the judge lays down the law. The back and forth immediately sets up the power struggle, showing the chaos of unprepared litigants and how quickly courtroom dynamics can spiral when people underestimate the process.
And so this is file 2500.
You gotta turn your microphone on.
What's that, ma'am?
Jim still don't have his microphone on, right?
No, he's just got himself muted. I'll handle how the court works, ma'am.
All right.
Don't address the other parties directly.
Okay.
This is file 2500309SC, Candlelight Condominiums versus Tibbetts. Parties are here for a small claims case. What that means.
This section shows the HOA's lack of preparation in full view. With no evidence submitted, the defendant confidently challenges the claims, leaving the judge to piece things together. Every question exposes gaps, building suspense as viewers see the plaintiff's case teetering, highlighting the importance of documentation and clear communication in small claims court.
Means is we're trying to get this done without any attorneys. Nobody is represented by a lawyer at this time. We are also trying to get this done without any thing like a jury trial, but for this just to be decided right here in front of me. And so with that being said, seems like this is pretty straightforward. Oh, I pulled up the wrong case. Hold on one second. That the on behalf of the Condominium Association, Ms. Behrens, what is it you do?
I'm the president.
Okay, I just need to make sure you can answer for that. And so essentially this is, I understand past dues, and then what I don't know about is finance charges. I'm assuming you're charging something for late fees.
Yes.
You're allowed to do that as long as it's reasonable. Right. I just don't have that listed. So Mr. Tibbetts, part of you living there is that you have homeowners association dues. All right. And for some reason now they're suing you because they're saying you're not paying your homeowners association dues. So my first question to you, what's that?
I have been paying my dues ever since I moved in here, except on the rare occasions when I paid them and they've lost them.
Well, I'm not sure we get to $1,269.50 on lost homeowners dues. Ms. Behrens, approximately how many times has he not paid his dues?
I don't know that he hasn't. He has other charges on there for things that
you didn't send it to court, right?
Right.
So I don't know what you're looking at, ma'am.
I'm looking at his statement.
Yeah, it would have been a really good idea to send the statement in as your proof, because now's the day we're here in court and you're just telling me he owes this money. I have nothing. And he's telling me, no, I pay my dues except for when they lost them. What are the homeowners association dues?
$80 a month.
Every
month.
So approximately how many months has he not paid?
Like I said, I don't know that he has not paid. I'd have to look it through, but he has other charges on there. And I've never
like
had
what,
to send it. Like I said, he didn't take care of his yard and so on. So
okay. So you have penalty charge. I just assumed it was not paying homeowners dues. That's the most common variety. So why don't you spell out?
Things reach peak tension as the judge methodically dismantles the HOA's math and logic. Yard cleanup costs, shed fines, and interest calculations all fall apart under scrutiny. The president struggles to justify her numbers, creating a suspenseful, almost shocking moment as viewers witness incompetence and courtroom authority collide in real time.
Out of the $1,269.50, tell me what it is he owes for.
Well, there's, the $675, that must have been for cleanup. We actually cut a tree down, but it was only part on his, so we paid for that. That was $2,000. And he is.
Ma'am, I don't need you to tell me things I don't need to know.
Okay, sorry.
You didn't send in the evidence. I just need you to tell me, what is it that he owes for?
Well, that's the $675, and he's
And
being.
what is that charge for, ma'am? And when is it from?
It's from October of 24.
Okay, and what is it for?
It's for cleanup of his yard.
So you actually paid a third-party service to go in and clean it up?
Yes,
Is that in your homeowners association bylaws?
yes, we go through and
And
do.
what triggers your ability to do that to him?
We have stated, we give them notices, we're going to go through for yard checks once a year. And we go through yard checks, we have a list, and what isn't taken care of, we give them a list. And they have 15 days to take care of it or contact us, and that hasn't been done.
All right, and so you contacted or notified him that
Right.
his yard was on this list.
Right.
And then he did nothing for 15 days.
Right.
And then you hired a third party to come in and clean it up.
Right, right.
All right, that's 675, what else?
Okay, and, the painting of his shed and so on, we aren't gonna do that. So he gets $50 a month charge for that. And then there's.
And that's spelled out in your bylaws that if you don't paint your shed, it costs $50 a month.
Yep, it has to be taken care of, yep.
And then that has not been paid since when? Or not been painted since when? When did you inform him that that was gonna start accumulating a $50 a month charge?
That was last summer when we went through the yard check. Before we did the.
Okay, so how much does he owe for not painting the shed?
It's $50 a month.
Ma'am, you cannot just keep saying that.
For
I'm
that,
not gonna sit here and add up the months for
Oh.
you. Tell me
I
how
didn't-
many months
okay,
that you are charging him for not painting the shed, that you get to a number.
okay. We've never had to do it this way, but I would do it. Okay. One,
Ma'am, you've only ever sued one person
350.
one other time in front of me, and that was for dues. So don't tell me you've never had to do it this way.
Okay, it's $350.
All right, so that's $350.
That's through February.
That's $1,025, so keep going.
And then there's the interest. And that's all like dollar something every month. And that's been going on.
What is your percent interest that you charge?
It's 5.5%.
Okay, that's reasonable. So how much do you have in interest?
I'm sorry, I didn't know I had to add that all up.
Well, ma'am, what did you think was gonna happen? That we just go by the total number?
Yep.
And
I
that
guess
he
so.
doesn't contest it item by item?
This
That doesn't
first
make a
time I-
lot of sense to you, does it?
I don't have an answer for that.
Yes, ma'am. Do you know why you don't have an answer to that?
Because I wasn't told I had to do that.
No, ma'am, because 5% interest to get to $255 on 1,000, that is not 5% interest, ma'am.
It
That's
goes
a lot
back.
more than 5% interest. Your math is bad.
Okay, there's also charges back in 22 and 21. It goes back. There's $50 charges way back. If you need me to, I'll send you the statement and
Are you gonna send it to me in the next 30 seconds? This is the time and place for you suing him. When did you think was a good time to send the information to me so that I could look at what you're suing him over?
well,
How did you think this was gonna work in your head? I'm just curious. That you'd
I
come here
guess
and then
I'm-
I would just say you must win because you're the plaintiff?
no, I'm sorry. I'm ignorant on that part. I've never done this part before, so. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you.
Mr. Tibbetts, so here's the
Yes.
problem. If you choose to buy property where there's homeowners association, they can make bylaws, and then you have to live by those bylaws. You may not like them, but as long as it's spelled out in bylaws that if you don't clean your yard up, they're going to charge you to have somebody come in and do it. You're going to have to pay that money. Same with if they decide your shed's not painted right.
The defendant steps forward with a humanizing defense, citing injury and disability, but the judge makes it clear that legal obligations remain. Every statement escalates the drama as viewers watch the balancing act between empathy and law, culminating in a live recalculation of damages. The courtroom tension peaks as the final numbers start to take shape.
I'm wondering, one, I didn't know that it was $50 a month on the shed bit, and how do you paint over the winter time? But
It was in the summer we did that.
Well, you said it over February. Also, since April 29th,
Wait,
I've
Mr.
been
Tibbetts, this is
disabled.
important. Are you telling me you were never made aware that you were supposed to take care of the shed and that you were going to get charged $50 a month?
I knew I was supposed to take care of the shed, but since the end of April of last year, I've been disabled. I've had a serious fall and fractured my spine. It was not able to do a lot of stuff because I was walking with a cane and bending down. I'd have been picking myself up off the ground.
Now, sir, that may very well explain why you didn't do it, but it's not a legal reason why you don't have to do it. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
One of the board members lived right next door to me, and she knew that I had the serious fall and was not able to do stuff.
So
And like
here's
I
my
say,
question. Do you
I would
believe
have
that
done
you owe
it
the
if I could have.
Do you believe you owe the
That's it.
homeowners association money?
I owe them some money, but not that much. That's
Okay, what do you think you owe the money
$675.
for?
You know what that cleanup of the yard is? For $675, they had a person come around with a gas-powered hedge trimmer and cut down everything around within a couple feet of the house foundation, and they spent less than an hour at it. They picked it
And
up and
sir,
left.
if you had paid someone to do it, maybe you could have had it done for $50, but you chose not to take
If
care of
I'd had
it.
mo-
You forced
with-
them
with
to
the
take
fact-
care of it, and $675 is what they got charged.
With the fact that I was disabled, I was not getting any income. I
Okay,
received.
sir, again, that is a
receiving
good
social-
reason why you're not taking care of these things. But for me, it's not a legal reason for them not to be able to charge you.
And also the statements they send me, all it has on there is an invoice number and an amount. I've been trying since back and first started to get them to explain what the stuff is for. That $50, whatever, back then, I've been trying to get them to explain what it's for. And all they
Are
ever
you
send
telling me
me,
you've never had
is
a
this.
conversation with Miss Behrens about this?
no, I haven't. I've sent things through dropping notes that they have a drop box down at by the mailboxes.
And
put
okay, were you ever
there
contacted by them to
When
have them explain it?
No, all they've
All right,
ever sent me
then
is a
hold on a
paper
second.
with an invoice number and an
Miss-
amount, and they won't tell me what the invoice
Then
is
hold on
for.
a second. Miss Behrens, if one of the people in the homeowners association were to go to the Dropbox and say, hey, I'd like an explanation before I pay this, what do you do about that?
I would talk to them, but I've been going to the Dropbox, actually taking care of the treasurer's job too, since May, and there's been no note. But the invoices that are sent to him, I have a copy of the one from February 11. It's $50. It says fine for shed needing painting, and he still had weeds around the shed, growing on the shed.
All right, so the invoices do have some sort of
do.
explanation on them.
It does.
All right.
It's on there every month.
All right. Here's the thing, and like I said, there may be some old charges on there, but you're not quite articulating them. I have $1,076.25 worth of stuff that you've articulated for me that makes sense. The yard cleanup, 5% interest, 5.5% interest, and $50 a month for $350 worth of, hey, you got to take care of the shed and you didn't. Would you like to add anything else to there? Because that's about $200 shy of what you asked for.
I don't, he's gonna be charged another $100 and some this month, but that's fine.
All right.
We'll just bill him.
So I would make a finding here in damages in the amount of $1,076.25. Mr. Tibbetts, I also need to explain to you that the condominium association paid certain monies out of pocket to get here today. They paid a filing fee to court and they paid to have you served. That was $121.15. They are also able to recover that. So I just wanted you to understand where that extra money comes from. Now, here's what I need you both to understand. Either one of you could say, I disagree with what just happened there. I want to appeal this verdict and go in front of the district court judges for general civil. To do that, you must do two things. One is you must ask for that within 7 days of today's date. Your opportunity to contest this further ends after 7 days. And two, you must come in and do that in writing. You can't just ask for it over the phone. So I just ask you one at a time. Do you both understand your rights on appeal?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Tibbetts? All right.
Yes.
So we're all set for what we need to do here today. I'm going to release parties. Ms. Behrens, I am going to talk to you just for a second because I'm assuming that the other message I got on the Candlelight Manor case, you're also involved with.
Yes.
I think it was the person you sued last time.
Oh.
The problem is the court does not do collections. So I know that you guys had some arrangement worked out and you're saying he's not doing it. And he said, they're not letting me do it. But just so you know, the court does not do collections. We would not involve ourselves in whether or not the judgment is satisfied. You have a judgment against them.
Right.
You can file paperwork to do things like seize tax returns or garnish paychecks, but you can't just write a letter to the court saying, hey, he's not paying, make him pay it. That's not a thing.
Okay. I was told that by when I called the court, so that's fine.
But there are other things you can file that have a little more teeth as far as like trying to get that money. But just to let you know, in general, the court doesn't go near collections. Once we make a ruling, a judgment, that means they owe you the money, but we do not enforce them paying you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
Now on this one, on Tibbetts, I can say I don't agree with it. I have to send something in. How do I do that? Because that's over $400.
You'd have to come in and fill out the paperwork to appeal to the general civil. And you got to do that within 7 days.
Okay.
And then you would start all over again in front of the district court judges.
All right.
Thank you.
Here, the verdict lands. The judge awards damages, explains legal reasoning, and details appeal rights. The HOA learns firsthand that winning in court requires preparation, and the defendant sees consequences and closure. This section resolves the narrative arc, leaving viewers with lessons on legal process, responsibility, and the real stakes of HOA disputes.